Today, I'm starting a challenge many of you have been waiting for. After posting a reel on Instagram about this idea and seeing how many messages I received from you guys, I decided to make it happen. I've deposited $5,000 into a real IC Markets account, a personal account, and my goal is to grow it to $10,000, basically to double it. Everything will be 100% transparent. You will see every single trade I take and the reason behind it, every win and every loss, and together we will find out whether I can reach the target or not. Just had lunch and I thought to show you guys real quick the $5,000 personal account. We can see the balance right here. The settings, we can see the account is under my name, raw trading, because it's a raw spread account with the smallest possible spreads. And I've already added the day trading pairs, they're all ready. And what I'll do now is I'll also attach some pictures on the screen, some screenshots where you guys will see the deposit that was submitted by myself when I deposited the money into the personal account. And now that I showed you guys the account as well, before hopping on the charts and looking for that first opportunity, I briefly want to talk to you about the plan for this account. It's a very simple one. When it comes to the risk management, I will be risking $500 per setup. That's a pretty big risk per trade. That's 10% on a $5,000 account. But the thing is, with the day trading strategy, my biggest losing streak was 5 trades in a row. For me to blow this $5,000 account, I need to lose 10 times in a row, okay? The strategy I will use is the day trading strategy. I will only use that strategy and trade from Monday through Friday, and I won't hold trades over the weekend. Besides this, please note that this isn't a flipping video. My goal is not to try and flip this account in a week or in a day or in 2 days. My goal is to reach the target, meaning it can take a couple weeks, it can take 1 month, it can take 2 months, it can take more than that, depending on how the markets will move. But I will document everything and show you guys how it goes. But if you're here for an account flip, you're in the wrong place, because I want to show you guys how trading actually looks like and how I think you should approach a personal account when trying to grow it over time. That being said, wish me luck and I will see you guys on the charts. And I couldn't ask for a better way to start this challenge on the 5K personal account. As we can see, GJ just smashed the TP right here. As you guys can see, the balance is now at $6,000. Let me show you the history. This is the trade I caught on GJ. Once again, let me show you the settings so you guys can see it's under my name. And again, the balance, there you go. And now let me show you guys why I took this setup. So let me delete everything. So what I saw yesterday is that price liquidated this varied low over here. And the varied high was this one right here. I saw that it had a beautiful H1 sweep confluence because it went below the low, below this low, and it closed above it. Because of that, I then went on the 5 minute. Bear in mind, there were no other confluences because on the 4 hour we had nothing, and neither did we have something on the daily. So the only confluence was the beautiful H1 sweep. I went on the 5 minute. I've noted it. After that, I just waited and check this out, guys. Boom, right here, price broke structure to the upside. It fully closed above this high. I already had this first fair value gap where I placed my entry initially, okay? But let me play the price once more. What I liked is that it gave a double BOS because it closed above this high as well. And if we look closely, we have this second fair value gap. And then I moved my entry on this second VBG with the stop loss below the low. And then of course I targeted to RR and I've sent the trade in my community. And on that note, if you would like to join us to be able to work with me one-on-one and learn the strategies I trade, and then of course also gain access to the private community, you can apply for my program by clicking the first link down below. Now let's play the price. Check this out. It triggered right here. And guys, this was a roller coaster trade. Okay, this trade right here was a roller coaster. It went towards the second VBG. When I saw it closing, I was like, okay, this is going to be a stop loss. But then price went back in profit. Check this out. Here it missed the TP1 by a small margin. And then it reversed back in drawdown. And look how close to the stop loss it went. Check this out. What it did here, essentially, it liquidated this low and then it went back in profit. Check this out. It went back in profit, but then it continued playing. And let's just go on the 1 hour because this is getting too long. You guys understand, you guys get the idea. It was literally a roller coaster trade. And of course, I wasn't watching the charts here. I just placed my alerts at the break-even level and at the stop loss to see how it goes. And I just let it play out. And then in the morning when I woke up, it went towards the upside, smashed the first TP here. And then eventually it smashed my TP right here. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm not gonna lie that I was able to start the challenge this way with a win. And also due to the fact that it was a roller coaster trade. And over here, I really thought it's going to be a loser, but I continued holding it. I've stick to my plan. And then price went towards the upside. And now why not let me do a analysis on the current price action since the stock exchange has opened. Right now it is Friday, 5 p.m. my time, 3 p.m. UK time. The stock exchange has opened. And we can see that price liquidated this high over here. As a valid low, I would take this one over here. And now let's look for confluences. On the 1 hour, I don't see anything. On the 4 hour though, we can see that price entered this 4 hour supply, which is a really good confluence. We go on the daily. On the daily, we have nothing. Let's go back on the 4 hour and let me mark the high of this supply as well, so I can have it visible on the 5-minute time frame. We also have this small liquidation here that I will go ahead and mark. And yeah, now waiting for that bearish shift. And why not let me go over the other pairs real quick as well, so I can give you guys an update on what I currently see in real time. On USHIFT, I'm waiting for a bullish shift due to the fact that it liquidated this low and it gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Looking now for a bullish shift. We also have some 5-minute liquidations, which is good. On euro dollar, we can see that price liquidated this high, might give a beautiful H1 sweep, most likely. 4 hour, nothing, daily, nothing. And therefore on the 5-minute, looking for a shift, and it looks like we already have it. It looks like we already have a shift right here with a fair value gap, and the entry should have been on this VVG. So I'm gonna finish this update and then I will decide whether I'll take this setup or not. Of course, I'll update you guys as well if I do, but let's move quickly. US 30 waiting for a bearish shift, nothing now. Nasdaq for a bearish shift as well, and it's beautifully rejecting from this 4 hour supply as the higher time frame confluence, and on the 1 hour it liquidated this high. Gold liquidated this high here and might have a beautiful H1 sweep confluence. Therefore on the 5-minute, I will be waiting for a shift, and GU liquidated the high, but there's no higher time frame confluences. Because of that, I'm just leaving it as is for now. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much it for now. Yeah, so real quick update, guys, so I can give it to you in real time, the update. I will not take this setup here because I've analyzed it now after I finished the first update regarding the GJ setup. I will not take it because this VVG is too small. If we look at it, the VVG is too small. The BOS wasn't that aggressive either. And yeah, it's not my cup of tea. It's not looking A+, so yeah, I won't take this setup. And it is almost 7 p.m. my time, and I am done trading for today, and I took no setups. Okay, if anything, I was able to avoid a loss and some other potential losses. I will show you guys right now what I'm talking about. So on US 30, we stayed in between, and I can just delete everything. On Nasdaq, we stayed in between, so I can delete everything over here as well. On euro dollar, check this out, guys. So initially, we had this liquidity level over here, this valid high that was liquidated, and price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Therefore, on the 5-minute, I was waiting for a bearish shift that came in right here. Okay, the bearish shift came in right here. It broke this low, valid break, valid VVG. It was a good looking setup, but I decided to not take it because it was a small fair value gap, and we can see that this would have been a loss. So essentially this was definitely a dodged bullet, so to say. Let's delete everything now and move on. On GBP USD, on the 1 hour, we entered this H1 and H4 fair value gap. We liquidated this high, but the shift never came. Okay, price just continued heading higher without an aggressive bearish shift, and therefore I had nothing on GU. Moving forward on gold, price liquidated this low and had a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but it had no bearish shift on the 5-minute. Because of that, no setup over here either. On USHEF, I had a potential valid setup here that I didn't take, and I will show you exactly why. So on the 1 hour, we liquidated this low. Price entered an H1 plus H4 fair value gap. And then on the 5-minute, after all these liquidations, price went higher and broke structure right here. Gave us the shift, the aggressive shift, because we have a full body closure and a fair value gap. But again, the fair value gap was too tiny for me to consider it. Therefore, I didn't enter. Okay, so let's delete everything over here as well. And lastly, we have GBP JPY, and over here, very simple. Once again, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high over here, entered this H4 supply, and then on the 5-minute, I waited for a bearish shift that came in right here. It broke this low. But due to the fact that, again, the VVG was kind of small, I didn't enter it. And to be honest, it looks like price wants to head higher. So safe to say that we avoided another loss over here as well. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty much it for this week. I just started the challenge. That's why I only got one trading day out of this week, which was the one from yesterday. And I'm glad that we started it with the right foot. The balance is now at $6,006. Next week on Monday, I will be back at you guys right when the market will open or after I take my first opportunity. So yeah, I will see you then. It is Monday now, a brand new week has started, and I just placed this sell limit on euro dollar. Let me show you the MetaTrader as well. Here you go. This is the sell limit. Currently pending. Okay, it's pretty far from activating, and if it continues like this or if it heads lower, it might become invalid. But let me show you why it's valid, why I took it. So on the 1 hour, it liquidated this valid high. This is my valid low. It gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it because, as we can see, it went above it but closed below. And besides that, price rejected from an H4 plus daily fair value gap. This is the H4 and this is the daily. So looking very, very good in terms of confluences. On the 5-minute, it liquidated this high as well, so a pretty good added confluence, and then it gave the aggressive bearish shift. As we can see, really good bearish volume, close below over here. Identify the VVG, place the sell limit on it, but as we can see, it seems that price wants to head even lower. And if that's the case, like I said, it might become invalid, but of course, I will keep you guys updated and let you know if that will be the case. Next up, on NASDAQ, price liquidated this valid high over here. Also might have a beautiful H1 sweep on it. If this candle will close like this in 9 minutes, we'll find out for sure. But besides that, price entered this H1 plus H4 supply, and it's beautifully reacting from it. And I like that a lot. However, on the 5-minute, the structure isn't really helping us, if I'm being totally honest. But there's still time left. Okay, so we still have time. If the volume is there, we could have a potential over here as well. Next up on GJ, price liquidated the low, but we need to wait and see how this H1 candle will close, because the only higher time frame confluence could be a beautiful H1 sweep. Same story on GBP USD. Price liquidated this valid low, and the only confluence could be a beautiful H1 sweep. That's why we need to wait 8 more minutes to see if we have this confluence or not. USD CHF is in between. US 30 liquidated this high at the beginning of the session, before it. And due to the fact that it gave a setup pre-open, that's why I disconsidered it. I looked left and I identified my new valid high, and therefore price right now is in between. And lastly, gold is at an all-time high. That's why I won't touch it today. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna focus on euro dollar and see how it goes. If it continues lower, then like I said, it might become invalid. But of course, I will keep you guys updated. And I'm back because the setup on euro dollar became invalid. Okay, why? Because it continued lower, and on the 1 hour, it formed a new valid high. Because of that, it became invalid. Besides that, I wanted to show you guys, I forgot to show you in the previous update. Today, I was able to avoid a loss on NASDAQ. So on NASDAQ, When the stock exchange opened, I had this valid high that price liquidated and gave a beautiful H1 sweep on. Therefore, on the 5-minute, I looked for an aggressive shift that came in right here, right when the stock exchange opened. Okay, very good looking. And then entry would have been on this VVG right here. However, I decided to not take it because, first of all, it was a pretty small VVG. Second of all, I didn't really like the structure. And third of all, the VVG was very close to the high. Because of that, I didn't take it. And as we can see, it was the right decision because like this, I was able to avoid a loss. And now, because some of you might for sure ask, but then on Euro-Dollar, you had a similar situation with the VVG close to the high. Yes, that's true, but the structure here was looking a lot better. And secondly, the VVG was also bigger. Okay, that's why I was okay with entering on it. But of course, this one became invalid as well. So there's no point to discuss about it. On NASDAQ now, however, we have a potential because price liquidated the high, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, confirmed it, and it's also reacting to this supply here, okay? And on the 5-minute, it gave me an aggressive shift right here. Okay, aggressive shift with full body closure below, a fair value gap that I'm not looking to enter on because it's too tiny, but now, if it confirms this second VVG here, I might have a setup, okay? And besides that, GJ liquidated this low over here and gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Therefore, on the 5-minute, I waited for a shift that came in right here, a weak shift. Because of that, I didn't enter here, so it's not valid anymore. And on GU, price liquidated the low and it's reacting to this H1 plus H4 fair value gap, and therefore on the 5-minute I am now waiting for a bullish shift. Okay, besides that, everything else is in between, or in gold's case at an all-time high. So for now, what I will do is I will focus on NASDAQ and on GU, but mainly on NASDAQ to see if it's going to give me a valid setup, and looks like it might give me a double BOS here, which is good. So yeah, I will keep you guys updated. So I am done for today and I took no setups. Okay, so I had a potential here, a valid setup. I placed my sell limit on the second VVG, but due to the fact that it continued lower, it became invalid. Okay, and besides this, I had another valid setup on GU. It gave me an aggressive shift here. I placed my buy limit on this VVG with the stop loss below this low. But then when the second VVG was created, that's when the setup became invalid because I had to move my entry to the second VVG. And in this case, the TP would have been past the opposite liquidity level. And because of that, the setup became invalid. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty much it for this first day of the brand new week. Was a good one. We were able to avoid the loss on NASDAQ, and the volume was pretty good. I'm looking forward to see what the market will have in store for us tomorrow. It is Tuesday now, and currently it's 7:39 p.m. I am done trading for today, and as y'all can probably tell, I am very happy. Reason for that is this trade right here. This beautiful sniper on US 30 helped me secure $1,014, and right now the balance is at $7,000. Let me show you the settings again so you guys can see that it's the real $5,000 account. And besides this trade, I have one more running trade on GJ. I'll discuss about that one in a sec, but let me tell you why I took this beautiful sniper. On the 1 hour, price liquidated this valid low right here, and it gave me the beautiful H1 sweep confluence because it closed above it. Okay, because of that, I then went on the 5-minute. I waited for a aggressive shift, and what I liked is that we had these liquidations. This liquidation here, and then this one right here. After that, after price accumulated all that volume, it pushed to the upside and it broke structure here very impulsively. I then placed my buy limit on the VVG and it barely mitigated it. Okay, it barely mitigated it, and then it went to the upside and it smashed my TP right here in like 30 minutes. Okay, super beautiful trade. And besides this one, I took this one on GJ as well, that it's currently running towards the stop loss. And to be honest, if it's going to be a stop loss, so be it. It's still going to be a profitable day for me. The balance will then be at $6,500. On this one, price liquidated a very major liquidity level, this valid low over here, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. And then on the 5-minute, after all these liquidations, I like the fact that it liquidated all of these lows here. Price then gave an aggressive bullish shift right here with 2 FVGs. Entry was on the second one, and as we can see, it's currently running in drawdown. It was a valid setup nonetheless, so there's nothing for me to complain about. However, indeed, the 5-minute isn't looking as clean as the 5-minute on US 30. Okay, that we can all agree on. GU liquidated this high, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Also was reacting to an H4 plus daily fair value gap. On the 5-minute, it gave a shift right here towards the end of the session, but I didn't take it because it was a very tiny FVG. And lastly, on USHEF, it liquidated this low. It gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. And on the 5-minute, it gave a very aggressive shift here, but due to the fact that we had multiple gaps, I didn't enter it, and it's safe to say that we avoided a loss. And besides that, on these other 3 pairs, everything is already deleted because price stayed in between the 2 liquidity levels. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty much it for today. A profitable day nonetheless, really happy about it. And I'll most likely get back to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day now, and I woke up not long ago to this price action right here on GJ. Remember, we had this trade running from yesterday, and I'm a bit upset. Why? Because this trade, as you guys see, it went all the way till 1.5 hours. So theoretically, it should have been a break even, but I was asleep and I wasn't able to move my stops at break even. And besides, I got stopped out right here midnight due to the slippage, and I lost $680 on this setup. Okay, the balance is now at 6,300 and something. Let me show you the settings once again so you can see that it's the real 5K account. Once again, the balance, there we go. So yeah, I'm a bit upset because this trade should have been a break-even trade, but due to the slippage, I got stopped out here, and I should have lost $500 on it, but instead I've lost almost $700 on it, which is again pretty annoying, but there's nothing we can do about it. Like I said, I am documenting everything with the good and with the bad. And to be honest, I came to the conclusion that from now on a pair like GJ that has a pretty big slippage compared to, let's say, euro dollar, it would be wise to close the setup right before going to bed to avoid situations like this. Okay, because right before going to bed, I was at break even. I should have closed it at break even. The balance would have been at $7,000, and that would have been it. Okay, but lesson learned. We move on. Still on the profitable side. It's a good start of the week so far, and I'm looking forward to see how the markets will look today. It is almost 7 p.m. my time, and today was a boring day. I didn't take any setups because I had nothing to execute. The volume today was really slow compared to yesterday, but let me show you guys what I mean. So I only saw something interesting-ish on US 30 and on NASDAQ. So on US 30, price liquidated this high over here, and it gave me a beautiful H1 sweep confluence. Because of that, on the 5-minute, I was looking for a bearish shift that never came, and as we can see, it now liquidated this high as well, but it is too late, okay, because it's almost 7 p.m. and I'm done looking for setups. NASDAQ liquidated this high over here, and I was waiting for a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but to be honest, this confluence would have been confirmed at 7 p.m. So the only way I would have taken this setup is if at 7 p.m. I would have had a aggressive shift with a good looking FVG. But if we go on the 5-minute, it's not the case. We can see that we had a weak shift right here without a FVG, without a full body closure. So there was nothing I could enter on. Price just went higher and gave me nothing. Besides that, everything else stayed in between. Look at GJ, look at this price section. It's literally up, down, up, down, up, down with no direction. Okay, it's very indecisive. Looks like a bank holiday to me. On the 1 hour, it stayed in between. GBP/USD also stayed in between. USHEF was pretty close to liquidate the high, but failed to do so. Euro dollar also stayed in between, now forming a new high, but it's irrelevant for us. And gold also stayed in between. Okay, so yeah, overall it was a slow day, like I said, but during days like this, it's very important for us to stick to our plan, stay disciplined, and understand that tomorrow will be another day. Okay, and there's no need for us to FOMO and take trades that aren't there. That being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. So it is Thursday now. It is 20 minutes past 6 p.m. my time. 40 minutes left until 7 p.m. until I am done trading for today. And so far, I haven't taken any setups today. The market has been very one-sided. The dollar has been very strong today. But let me get into the charts and give you guys an update. Okay, so on euro dollar, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this low over here, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it with this candle right here because it closed above. Therefore, on the 5 minute, I am now waiting for a bullish shift. But again, seeing how strong the dollar is today, I doubt we will have a bullish shift. On GJ is looking the best. So check this out. We have a valid high, a valid low. The low was liquidated. We have a beautiful H1 sweep confluence on it. And besides that, check this out. Price entered this H1 demand and reacted to it very beautifully. Let me show you this one right here. But on the 5 minute, if we go, we'll see that the structure isn't really helping us. Okay, the structure isn't helping us. Ideally, what I want to see now, a second leg, a break of that second leg, and then maybe we can get involved. Next up on gold, price liquidated this low over here and it entered an H4 fair value gap. But again, seeing how strong the dollar is today, I doubt we'll have a bullish shift. Next up, GU. On the 1 hour, it liquidated this low over here and gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. On the 5 minute, again, waiting for that bullish shift. USD CHF liquidated this high and the only confluence could be a beautiful H1 sweep. That could be confirmed at 7 p.m. right when I'm done trading for today. So the only possibility would be for me to have a valid A+ setup right at 7 p.m. Okay, that's the only way I would take a setup over here. Of course, on the 5 minute, waiting for a bearish shift. And apart from this, US 30 is in between. It liquidated this high over here, but due to the fact that we had no confluences, I looked left and I identified my new high, this one right there. And NASDAQ is in between over here. The structure is pretty clear. It was pretty close to liquidate this low here, but it missed it by a tiny bit, as we can see. Okay, so for this final trading hour, I will focus on the green pairs, even though I have low expectations. And this will pretty much be the end of the week and also the end of the first video because I don't want it to be too long. The reason I'm ending the week here is because tomorrow we have the NFP. Tomorrow is Friday and we have the NFP. And you guys, especially if you're in my community, you know that I always avoid the day when the NFP drops. That's why I think that after today, I will wrap up the first part of this series. And of course, you guys should stay tuned because in the upcoming week after this one will be posted, the part 2 will be posted as well. All right, so as predicted, I didn't take any setups today. I had nothing to take. The only potential was this one here on GJ, but this right here wasn't a valid shift for me. And I would have FOMO'd if I would have entered here. I'm being honest, okay? Because this right here wasn't a valid shift. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this week. The balance is at $6,342. Let me show you the settings once again. There we go. And let me show you the balance once again. A pretty good progress knowing that it was only 1 week because the first trade I took was last week on Thursday. Today is Thursday, so only 1 week has passed. And the balance is now at $6,000 plus a total profit of $1,342 in 1 single week, which in my opinion is really solid. It should have been $2,000, but it is all good. We had a bit of tough luck on that GJ trade and you guys already know what I'm talking about, but still it's a good progress and I am happy about it. And I'm really looking forward to see what the upcoming weeks have in store for us. That being said, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel to not miss out on the upcoming parts of this series because like I said, I will document everything. And till the next video, if you guys want to see how my journey as a trader looked like from the start till the present moment, you can watch the video that will pop on the screen right now. And that being said, I want to wish you all the best and take care.